Welcome to Family Gamer TV. We're here to look at Beyblades and the new 3DS game Beyblade Evolution that brings the spinning top mechanics in full 3D effect to the 3DS. Now Ben's here to help me with the game. He knows all about Beyblades and about the toys. Going to look at the toys, how to customise them and how that relates to the 3DS game. So these are all different bits that make up the Beyblade, are they?
Yes.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These spinning tops.
There are 5 different parts to a Beyblade.
Mm-hmm.
So this part is known as the face bolt or the bit chip.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
This particular one is called Lactura.
So each different one has a name.
Like a salamander or some sort of lizard. It does not affect how it behaves in any way. It just keeps the Beyblade together.
Okay.
But if you put it on loose, then while you're battling, it could just explode into all 5 pieces.
So the next bit,
well, 4 pieces.
that makes up our Beyblade is this bit here. So do you want to tell us
Yes.
about that? What are you calling that?
I call this the energy ring.
Mm-hmm.
Or
And what does
the
that
attack
do?
ring.
Yeah. So that's the bit that comes into contact with the other spinning top.
No, that's the metal ring.
Okay.
This is the part that, it does do something. Though sometimes it's hard to tell what it does. But all of them have a certain pattern on them. This one, if you look very closely, has a little lizard on it.
So has that one got a name?
Yes, this is also Lactura.
So then moving on to the metal bit.
Yes, now this.
So that's what gives it its momentum.
The metal ring or...
I think they call it the weight disc sometimes online,
or
don't
the
they?
weight disc.
Yeah.
Yes. Now the weight disc is the part that attacks and defends the Beyblade.
And so each of these different components have a stat, don't they? And that's stamina,
yes.
attack,
stamina, attack, and defense.
Is it balance?
Balance is not a stat. It's just when a Beyblade has equally level points.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if it's got a high attack number, then
Yep.
it'll be good at knocking into other Beyblades, will it?
Yes.
What if it's got a high defense number?
High defense, then it can basically absorb attacks
Okay.
easier than others.
And what about the stamina?
Stamina keeps the Beyblade going for a long time.
Yeah, that makes sense. Cool. Okay, so let's move on. So this bit here, this looks interesting.
The spin track. Now the spin track either attacks or defends the Beyblade. Depends on what it is.
So that has stats as well as attack or stamina or defense.
Yeah, it does. But it doesn't have many of the stats.
Mhm. Okay.
So,
And then the last thing you have is this thing at the bottom, and that's the bit.
Now this is the main part.
Mhm.
If you didn't have this, it couldn't spin
Yeah, go
at
on.
all.
And so
Anyway.
that's the bit at the bottom that comes into contact with the stadium where they're spinning.
Yes.
And so how does that affect how the Beyblade behaves?
Well, it depends on what shape it is. If it's flat, then normally it would make it more of an attack type.
And what do attack types do?
Attack types bash into other Beyblades, knocking them out quickly. But they don't have much stamina.
So we've got these 3 here,
Yes.
and they've got 3 different tips.
I think
So
this one is called BS.
Mhm.
Ball something.
Yeah, and that's because it's got a little grippy thing, so as it spins, it will run around and move a lot. Is that right?
Yes.
So it won't stay in one place. And this one?
This one I believe is called DS.
Move your finger.
And it's a mixture of the defense tip and the spike tip. I think it's the defense tip. I'm not quite sure, but that's what it's called.
So before you battle your Beyblades, you spend quite a bit of time switching, mixing and matching the different bits.
Yes, mixing and matching.
So then what you do, you could mix and match the different things to get a different sort of Beyblade,
So you could have Thermal Scorpio, or you could have Thermal Horacius, or Vulcan Lactura. Yeah, so you can have Thermal Rock and Vulcan, and they're all
cool. Well, I think what we should do is maybe we'll make some up and then have a little Beyblade battle, shall we?
Yes. Cyber Pegasus.
Okay.
Now, this launcher isn't the right one. but it's got a Cyber Pegasus on it.
Cool.
And,
Ready, steady. 3, 2, 1, go. 3, 2, 1, go.
So as you can see, Lactera prefers to stay in the middle of it. So, yeah, it's more of a stamina type.
Lactera is the red one, is it?
Yes.
Yes.
And so
who won? What's this one?
Thermal Scorpion.
So Thermal Scorpion won because it's still spinning and it's still going now.
Yeah.
It seems to stay quite central. Cool.
Yeah.
So another part of the Beyblade games.
Beyblade.
Am I saying it wrong? Beyblade.
It's Beyblade.
Beyblade.
Yes, Beyblade.
Is that there are some video games. Now, there was a DS game, wasn't there? Called...
Yes, there was an original DS game. I don't know what it was called, but it's honestly terribly unusual. And yeah.
So you're saying you didn't like
Beyblade
it?
Evolution is a bit different.
So before we talk about the new one,
3D.
Before we talk about the new one, what do you think of the DS game? You played a bit of that.
Yeah, the first DS game, well, it wasn't very good. I played a little bit of it. I didn't know how to customise anything. It was pretty boring.
So it's difficult to make up the different Beyblades, was it? To mix and match, and maybe it didn't feel quite as real?
Yes, exactly.
So, but you've been playing this weekend Beyblade Evolution, which is a 3DS game that will be coming out on the 3DS later in the year. So we've got a little dev version to put it through its paces. But you seem to like it better than the DS game. So what was it? How did you like it? What did you think of it?
Well, this is 3D. That's number one.
And do you think that's important for Beyblades that it's 3D?
Yes, and you can easily put things together as well. That's good too.
So when you say put things together, what do you mean?
Put the parts together. I mean, you don't even have to twist anything with the little wrench. I mean, it's much easier.
And is Metal Fusion elements you're getting in the game?
Metal Fusion is the first version. You don't really get many of those parts. But some of the Metal Fury parts and a lot of the Metal Masters parts.
Yes, what I liked about the game is that it modelled in 3D what was actually happening in the stadium. So you'd have your Beyblades in the game that you'd made, and then you'd battle them, and the game then recreated what would happen. So you'd see the top spinning, and then they hit each other, and they move in just the same way as they would if you were doing it in real life.
Maybe not in the same way, but yes, sort of.